There he goes.
There it is.
Welcome. This is our September monthly meeting, so welcome everyone. We have a lot of events in the next month. There's a little one going on in the end of October. It's called Maker Fair. It's just this little thing that's put on down at the fairgrounds. So no big deal with that.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have events they would like to talk about? Okay.
I think our souls all belong to Maker Fair at this point.
You mean that little thing?
The tiny thing.
So other Maker Fair reminders. By the way, most of that's Maker Fair.
Nice.
Amen.
It's like most of the events are somehow vaguely Maker Fair related.
When you
All right.
Imagine that.
So, a couple things. We'll start. I'm going to skip around a little bit here. First thing, we are renting a 24-foot box truck for Maker Fair. It's a dock height box truck with a lift gate. FamiLAB is footing the bill for it. It's going from here to Maker Fair on Friday. We haven't decided exactly when yet. And then on Monday or on Sunday, it's going from Maker Fair back here. If you want something loaded in that truck, let us know as soon as possible because we have to plan out space in that truck. It seems like a very big truck until we have 50 people want to put stuff inside of it. Especially when you've got 3+ Power Wheels racing teams.
And 8 by 16-foot rooms.
And
Yeah.
Lance's 16-foot large room. And David's 50-foot long track.
It's,
I don't know, is it longer now?
No, it's 50.
Okay.
Actually, it's only 32 right now. It'll be on 50. So.
It'll get there.
So Lab's footing the bill, but if anybody's using the truck and wants to kick in, Treasurer will love you forever.
Yeah, the truck was like $400 for the weekend. So if you have some extra cash to spare, especially if you're going to be utilizing the truck, we would very much appreciate helping you offset that cost. Also, if you're looking to stay at an RV during Maker Fair or have a place that is non-related, Mr. Lance would be your guy to talk to. We are having after parties here at the lab both nights. So you will be able to leave Maker Fair, go to the lab party, and drive back to the fairgrounds. It's about a half an hour trip.
and then at the fairgrounds we'll have the after party.
Yeah. Yes. And you were talking about doing something on Friday night too as well.
Maybe. We may have an anime night Friday night after the setup for Maker Fair out at the RVs. I get a projector and some speakers. Whatever. I don't know what we're going to project on. It might be the side of an RV.
That'd be cool, especially because they've got that ripple. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
fun
The
fact.
picture will look great.
That'd be awesome.
It'll be better than
Offline.
clustering around your laptop.
It's got an airstream. It'd be awesome on an airstream. Sorry.
So that's the idea is that especially if you live further away than some people do, it might be even more beneficial for you to go back to the RV, which is 30 minutes away versus going back to your house, which might be an hour and a half to 2 hours away. Last year we actually also said we'd do a hacker hostel thing. We never had anyone do that.
Up on that.
If anyone's interested in staying overnight with potentially other people on Saturday night and Sunday night here at the lab, let us know. We haven't agreed to it yet, but essentially it's free lodging for other people coming from other places in the state. And by free lodging, we mean it's a spot on the floor after everyone leaves with your sleeping bag. And it would be for the one night only, really. Maybe 2 nights at the most. If you're interested in hosting that, let us know. Daniel Chateau volunteered last year. We didn't have anyone ask, but it might be a thing that.
There's another part of the RV thing though.
Oh.
If we're gonna have the lounge RV, the shared RV, so that FamiLAB can during Maker Fair go sit in the air conditioning and quiet or something. It's gonna be crowdfunded, so the more people that can get in on that, the more likely that will happen.
How much are the RVs?
The RVs are 300 and change, I believe, if I remember right.
And how many people do they sleep?
6, if you really want to.
How many people if you really don't like the people you're sleeping next to?
There are 3 beds.
So cheaper than a hotel.
Yeah.
And they are air conditioned.
Yeah, but I mean, if we can get, I'd love to see the lounge stocked with some snacks or something, at least some drinks. Somewhere for you to use the restroom in peace, not a porta potty.
Yeah. An air conditioned bathroom.
Thank you.
Truck runs about $2.08 a square foot.
Can you tell me that shit is per cubic foot?
Not right now.
Do we know the height?
I'm basing it on 8
Probably
foot
the
width.
Inside, I don't know yet.
That's approximate.
It's a truck with a lift and everything else.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, in case you're wondering, like, why are we bringing a big box truck? Well, we've got a lot of big things to bring here. In years past, we have relied on other people's generosity with their pickup trucks to bring things to Maker Faire. The problem is when a single truck makes 4 trips to Maker Faire, when you're leaving, you still have to make 4 trips back or pack
6.
taller. Yeah.
6 trips back.
But who's counting?
Yeah.
That way, everything goes in the truck, everything goes back to the truck.
Also, I do remember people here at the lab Maker Faire morning. How do I get my car to the Maker Faire?
Yeah. That happens.
Naps.
Yeah.
Naps are a thing.
No, like how do I get my Power Wheels
Yeah.
to the Maker Faire?
Drive
won't
it.
fit in my car.
Oops.
You have enough batteries for that, right?
We have a trailer.
18 miles per hour, 20 minutes.
We'll take the lead acid batteries and put a trailer in the back.
Just throw the generator on top.
Yeah, there we go.
Hybrid.
So other cool Maker Faire stuff. We are going to purchase more FamiLAB t-shirts. We're going to purchase as a group more of the standard branded. Is anyone wearing one? Mook is over in the other room. The gray FamiLAB t-shirt with the white and blue logos with the FamiLAB logo at the bottom as well. We will be purchasing more of those. Quantity is yet to be determined. If you want one, we'd like to try to get a pre-order wait list so we can see who wants shirts of what size, so we kind of have an idea of what quantity to order. If we buy them as a group, we're probably going to try to resell them again as $10 a shirt. I think what would stay the same.
Mhm.
If we can buy them, ahead of time. If we need to do like one-offs, they're much more expensive. They probably $15+ if we have to do one-off runs, and we don't even have that set up yet. We were investigating some options for that. We'd like to try to do it all as a bulk purchase.
Is it not possible for us to set screen around?
It is, but not with the current logo because we'd have to remake that.
We don't have screens for
We
it.
don't have screen for it. Speaking to that, I think we mentioned last meeting, maybe the meeting before, we had someone who started on a design for do a yearly FamiLAB design. We were going to make a screen of it, have the screen for you to print here, of whatever the yearly design for the FamiLAB shirt was, using our logo and theming it out in some way or another. That has kind of fallen to the side, but it's an idea we definitely want to kind of rekindle and make it happen, because that would be really cool to have a screen here to print some kind of FamiLAB swag with. But if you have an interesting idea for logo design, using our existing logo but incorporating it into something, so
We can do the popper.
we can do that.
We're wearing right now.
So something. Usually single color works best. Multiple color shirts on a screen printing rig is doable.
I think you
We can do Teespring as well if we're going to do it more
Yeah.
fundraiser style.
There are multiple options. The big thing is we can get the gray shirts with the logos on them, and we're going to get more of them. We want to do a custom kind of yearly refreshed, cool year design thing. But we're not there yet. If you want to head that up, though.
I would love to jump in Photoshop and do something.
You're there.
Do accuracy. Other things, so lab coats, Sage.
Yes. If anyone's interested in becoming an awesome gang with me, yes, of lab coats, awesome, sweet. Okay, so I'm just gonna mentally take notes. If anyone else wants to reach out to me, awesome. How about we just IM you?
How about, yeah,
Yay!
send Sage a message.
Slack on Sage on Slack. Yes.
Did you get the link I sent you for the
No, but I have a link posted on.
They were like 12 bucks.
Awesome. The ones I have are like
Yes.
15, but they look like they're more like heavyweight. So I'll check out what you sent me. Thank you. And then I'll let everyone know what options we have, because I think that'll be awesome.
Is that embroidered?
I think that's what we should do. Not the cost of the lab coats by themselves is the amount that I've been talking about. Embroidery is something we should definitely do, but I've not yet looked into, because I just wanted to get my
Depending on how
myself.
many, I can take care of that.
Yay! I'm so glad.
Yeah, let's do that.
Certain options, I think, Lloyd does some embroidery stuff. No, he pays somebody else. Yeah,
okay.
He had a file embroidered or a file created. Okay.
Which I already had one anyway.
I wasn't sure. The point of stuff. But yeah, we've got a.
Yeah, Dave.
All right, sweet.
I was
So- Okay, so we have the technology, awesome. Please send me a message on Slack or an email letting me know you're interested so I can get a tally and we can get that going, because that's gonna be really sweet. I also have chemistry goggles.
Sage,
Yes.
can we get the Embry-Riddle logos, or can we get the?
No.
Screen on the back?
I would love that. We can try to make that do.
Do it in blue. FamiLAB logo, silk screen on the back.
Can we get the Embry-Riddle logo below it?
I had that screen.
Can we have how much are we donating?
That's a great question.
Sorry.
They're donating nothing, and will sue us for use of their logo. Bree, she has volunteered. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
She
told
has-
her beforehand
Okay.
just to make sure. I was like, you remember, right?
Her brain was a little burnt in the desert, so I just making sure that everything's still there.
Hers was the most intact, probably.
She didn't break anything as far as I know.
No,
Because I was warned.
Was it before or after she fell off the structure?
Bree was on it the whole way, the whole ride.
Oh, man, I was very cautious.
I want an update on that later, by the way.
Oh, I would love to tell
Okay,
stories. I'm
just,
sure Bree has many as well.
that'll go on the show and tell thing here.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, if you want to have some kind of little kits to sell at the FamiLAB booth, whether it be electronics, arts and crafts, whatever, that we stick our logo on and sell for $5, $10 at the FamiLAB booth, people love buying things. In fact, people will like buying things more than they like receiving free things. This was evidenced by, I think, Willa, was it last year or the year before? The lanyards?
No, actually, we had trouble. People wanted to take the lanyards because they thought they were free. We put up a sign and people go, what? And I mean, we did get a few people to buy them, but honestly, they didn't want to give us money. And it's kind of sad and not really what we here, but. they
Well,
didn't
but the
wanna give
thing
us
is,
money.
lanyards are a common giveaway at,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at conferences. And it
Just
sets people's perception.
Swag.
in reality, these cost us like,
Right.
I forget, it's like $2 or $3 a piece, something like that. $3 a piece. Yeah, we sell them for $3 or something, but they
Mhm.
cost money. We were giving away the black ones and selling the black ones because they were non-member lanyards, but now it doesn't really matter. But people still like buying things. If they can, lay down a $5 or $10 bill and walk away with something, they're very apt to do that a lot of times. We saw it happen in Atlanta when we
And
went.
I think if we gave them something that was not just a logo on a piece of apparel, that would go really well. Because people want to take something and go home and play with it. That happens to have a logo on it, awesome. But they're not going to wear a shirt that they don't really know.
Right now we have 10 soldering iron kits for.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Did you have any ideas as for other things to sell?
The one I thought of was like a lily pad thing where you like hand embroider the conductive thread and connect lights and like heat textiles.
Are you talking about the photo kit, the one that has everything on one board already? Where they can ahead of time?
I mean, I've seen that. I was just figured it could be even cheaper than that.
Ted's got a PCB that he said he could use.
Yeah, we're just,
Not much time.
This is
yeah,
fun.
we've got essentially less than a month, really, when you start putting things together. So we've got time, or not a lot of time. If you have a kit you want to sell, or even a rough idea of something, please get with Bree. She will make sure it happens. Yes, sooner rather than later. Other Maker Faire stuff. We making sure we don't have any more Maker Faire things before we move on. Any other Maker Faire things that anyone else knows that I have forgotten?
You haven't made your exhibitor thing too bad.
Yeah. A lot of it's like too late now.
So, kind of. FamiLAB has a 30-foot by 50-foot area. We will be provided.
It's quite a few tables.
A lot of tables and chairs.
I know Brian is taking one. I was already asked by them if they could take the whole table. And it's like, you don't have to ask to use space you registered for. That's fine. But I think we'll have at least one table for swag and stuff. Anyone who's registered under FamiLAB, we have to get the list from Jess. I might want to do that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're having a meeting tonight, so we just ping them in Slack afterwards. They'll probably be fresh on their
I
minds.
will be trying to micromanage everyone from the lab just to make sure that all our stuff is in a row, everybody gets their stuff in the truck, everybody knows there's a truck.
Thank you.
People know when to show up and that they need helpers, because it's not just you and it is a 2-day event. I highly suggest that if you have your 2 names for helpers, fill those in as soon as you can. If you have to grab a lab member and be like, hey, help me do my exhibit, we'll split the days or something. That's a good way to do that. But if their name's not in the system, they will not get into Maker Faire underneath your Maker badge.
The other thing is if you're helping us out and you're representing the
Yeah,
lab during the time there, the same thing. Let Willa know. I think you've got the registration. You filled it out, right?
Right, I filled out the
Yeah.
lab's registration and the lock picking registration. So if you want to help with either of those 2 things, so the swag booth for the lab, just telling people what we are, if you want to work on that, we still have our 2 slots open. Lock picking, I really need a lot of folks to help with that. We're teaching everyone from like 2-year-olds all the way up, learning how to pick locks, and we'll have our lock pick challenge course that Lance built as well. So there's a lot of room to volunteer there.
And Lance will be busy for a little
Yeah,
bit.
Lance will be busy, but he's giving us his giant room, so it's awesome.
And
So
remember,
David is
volunteering
showing
is
me
free
things.
admission.
That's not fair. Yes, you get free admission if you do volunteer. Obviously, this will be under the lab, so maybe you don't help yet. But there will be, if we fill all the slots, there'll be plenty of people, so you can run around.
And if you don't want to talk about the lab, but would rather solder all day,
Yes.
talk to Jamie. This Jamie.
Is your leg.
That one over the 3. Okay,
Parking here on that weekend.
okay, for after party, especially, or if you're leaving your car here and driving with someone else to Maker Faire, we're going to double check with everyone. Dave Wood's here. I thought I heard him earlier.
See him.
I thought I saw him come through earlier. We're going to try to ask everyone to park on the other side if you're a member of the other side of the building and walk around, just because, everyone knows how quickly parking fills up here. And if we have 50 plus other cars showing up, we want to make sure that this space is available for them to park in. So if you could kindly park on the other side and walk around the building for the after parties. Or carpool, and or both.
Right under.
Don't do that.
You're
It's a
funny.
Poor idea. Anything else, Maker Faire? Has anyone not been to Maker Faire before?
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
So you're all registered as volunteers.
The way volunteer registration works, if you don't volunteer for FamiLAB,
We'll
you wanna
volunteer you.
but you want to volunteer in the general Maker Faire, you volunteer for a 4-hour shift, either Saturday or Sunday, and you get in the rest of the day free. Yes.
We can't volunteer, but we can still go to the fair. Is there any way when we buy our tickets, a portion that goes to FamiLAB?
Yes. We have a link.
We still have a link? I thought it expired.
It expired and it got renewed.
Hooray!
In the Maker Faire channel.
We get a certain percentage of the profit of the ticket sale.
Only for 2-day tickets.
Correct.
Thank you for asking.
It's a good question.
3 points.
Any other? So just so you guys know, we do have technically another meeting before Maker Faire. No one's going to pay attention to what's going on then, and it's going to be really quick. So it's the Tuesday before Maker Faire.
Is there anything special happening during that meeting?
Lots of freaking out and arguing over who did what with the wrench.
We're actually we will announce it in official channels as well. So we have to have an annual meeting this year, even though it's going to be a fake annual meeting. And I say that because we essentially lost 6 to 8 months during build out. So the lab kind of stopped doing what it was doing. So we shifted everything down. Our annual meeting is supposed to be as early or as close as possible to March. Well, it's going to be October.
We're working our way back around.
So what we're going to do is
Turns out that
we're
October
essentially-
is as close as possible to March.
Exactly. So we're not going to vote on anything. We're not going to pass any amendments. We're not going to vote on new board members.
We're not going to read
going
the
to-
annual report to you.
We're not going to read the annual report. We're going to say this is our annual meeting, and then move on and say in March then we'll have the real one, just because it's not going to happen. If you've never been to one of our annual meetings, it's a pretty big deal, and we generally serve food and or ask for donations for food, and we
4
Did-
Rivers, nom nom nom.
Is he supposed to be up for re-election?
I believe.
Yes, the 1 year.
Right, but that
which
wasn't
we
me
shuffled
anymore. No, because I took over.
We shuffled it to
Yeah.
It's
Dave.
gonna be
Sage?
Positions were taken, in March. In
Yes.
March, I think I'm up for
Yeah.
reelection,
Yes.
yeah.
I know, I'm no longer for reelection.
Yeah, so Sage and David are both up for re-election because they're both serving 1 year terms or remainders of terms.
And I'm assuming
Oh.
Sykes as well.
And John, I believe.
No, John's with me.
That's right.
So Dave Sykes.
No,
No, wait.
No, I took
That-
Sykes
that
before
Dave.
me.
it's all good.
He expired a while ago.
I took Sykes.
Dear.
she took Coke.
Yeah, I
So
took,
This is why we're having it in March, because our brains are all frazzled because of Maker Fair. But anyway, we're having our annual meeting in October. We'll announce it through official channels. We won't be doing anything other than saying this is our annual meeting and then doing this,
Just what's required by the state, basically.
because we have to have it. And then in March we'll have a real one. We promise it'll be awesome.
We'll be all right.
That was
it'll be awesome.
Can we make it part of the Christmas party?
In March.
So,
Yes.
we're gonna have, do we then have like the
Well,
annual
everything
report
is
drinking
shifted a
game
couple
every time the
months.
treasurer cries, take a shot?
That'll be epic.
Can we talk about that after Maker
Yes,
Fair?
okay. We're getting
PMF,
excited.
PMF,
Um,
post Maker Fair.
okay. Any other Maker Fair stuff?
You're really hanging on to it.
I really am, because this is your last chance to ask questions if you don't know. And and tonight is one of the last meetings we're having for the organizers and producers meeting. So, and they're in a meeting right now still. So if you need a question answered, this would be a good time.
But it's also the Maker Fair channel that you can ask
That too.
questions in later.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Yay.
Sorry, that took so long. All right, we're new members.
Introduction.
Yes, we have 3 new members to introduce themselves.
Perspectives.
Perspectives. I read through that.
Perspective is important.
We're really
Yeah, just like it's everyone's a member now.
Not always
Um,
rich.
So we'll start. We're gonna ask you to stand up, tell us a little about yourself. Does anyone have paperwork to turn in that we didn't already gather? Paperwork.
I will.
Okay.
Cool.
The
Turn
first
to
one,
me.
Kevin, Brian.
Yay!
Kevin's sponsors are Daniel and Sage.
I don't know where to begin since I have nobody to follow.
Right
so-
there. Right there.
Tell us what you do.
Little
Little
bit of
outstanding.
Yeah. And face the camera.
I had to use this whole like,
Yeah.
okay.
Stool.
Oh, there you go.
The awkward stool. Last month we put a stool in the middle of the room for no reason. It was really amusing.
I just assumed
Yes.
it's way for you to
Make
power.
However you wish.
There you go.
That works.
Breaker mode.
Anyway, the first time I was here was a couple of weeks ago to check things out. As my wife would say, I got home and yeah. I mean,
How funny people do that here.
just the amount of strange brain power in this room is exciting. I love creating things. I love making things. I've been building things since forever. So it's be awesome to get involved with you guys. I currently own my own restoration and modeling company.
Nice.
So I build stuff. I like making stuff. I like creating stuff. I like solving problems.
What kind of restoration?
Well, I've done insurance restoration, so building collapses or somebody runs into a car or it has flood or fire or so that sort of restoration. And then I also am I'm an investor also, and I also do consulting for disasters. But we haven't had a whole lot of disasters that affected a whole lot of people for a while. So I restore houses. So I can make money.
All their homeowners are tapping on the wood.
Destroy my apartment. Destroy my apartment.
So,
Oh, that's right.
so I see things when they go wrong, and I know the process of fixing them from a construction standpoint. That's my background. I'm very interested in all things CAD and computer. So first I saw the CNC back here, which 20 years ago I was programming a CNC that cost about $250,000. And I don't remember how it was done then, but I saw this and I said, yes, I could do some of the sort of things that I used to do with that machine, which was the precision cutting. But along with that, you've also got the laser and the 3D modeling, which are all part of that same genre. So I'm really excited about getting involved in this and getting involved with all you guys, picking your brain, and hopefully I'll be able to add something to the conversation. That's it.
Definitely yes.
I have a question. What would you evaluate the policy claim on our disaster here would be?
Being today's meeting disaster?
Yeah, pretty much.
I like Murray.
Well, yeah.
I don't think you have a case. If you claim it correctly, you can get millions.
Try these three simple steps to find out how.
What's your first project?
My first project will probably be, it'll take me back in time to get, and I should say I like making things a lot, and that's probably why I have 5 kids.
But before you don't make the kids here.
So we're live on the internet.
I introduce my wife.
Don't forget, you're live on the internet.
Yeah, that's right. Are there rules and regulations against that? Anyway, I didn't say anything. The first project will actually probably be a dollhouse because I built one about 15 years ago using a CNC machine. And it had to be 25 years ago that I built this thing. And it was really cool the way that it worked. And I haven't seen anything like that out on the internet. So I thought this might be an opportunity to prototype that back again. And then you showed me the laser, and I thought, lasers, I need to shrink this way down and make a little model. So I've been playing around with how I can make a little model and make sure I get all the pieces and parts with that before I transfer it to the CNC, go through that prototyping process. Then the other is I created a toy. It's what they call a foot-to-floor toy. It's a ride-on toy for a child from about the age of 1.5 to 5 years old, let's say. And I made this back in 2004. And I happen to know a guy that used to be the president of KB Toys. And he took a look at it and said, "You got to send this to me." So he got me an appointment to meet with the people on the side. Oh, what's that? Oh, you're right. It was I did the same thing my daughter did. She sent something back to her. So they had it for about 6 months and they turned it down. But it was an exciting moment because I thought, this is good. So I'm probably going to prototype that back up again. I still have a working model of it, but there's some changes I thought about in the last minute. I'm always making changes. I just like to fiddle and do different things. So that's my story. Anything else?
You have a fandom, you have a thing that you enjoy reading and watching.
Well, my favorite book of all time is Dune.
That's classic.
It's the best book. I think. And then there's what's one that
Ready Player One.
I heard that. Yeah. Excellent. Cool. So
Very cool. Thank you very much. Tyler?
Well, I guess this still is a little
Yay!
So that introduction, I guess enough. I'm the 3D modeler. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and nice background.
Very epic.
But so I'm a furry like circus, so I like doing furry. So I thought I was going to be doing animation for Pixar like back in high school, but it turns out I didn't like drawing. So Turned to 3D model. I graduated. I was like, I don't like this anymore, so I'm gonna stop. And then I got to this, and so I was like, oh, cool, well, 3D animation, that'd be cool. And then I decided I don't like animation at all. So I found 3D printers, and that was really cool because I just like making things. I like character design a lot. So sculpting characters is something I like doing. And costume design would be cool too. Like if I could make a stormtrooper outfit.
Raise your hand if you like costuming.
Because I'd like to make those. That'd be really cool.
You would not be the only stormtrooper here.
Yeah, sure. I think I saw
Yeah.
like a four-piece whatever helmet out there. That was pretty cool. Is it? I just saw 4 cuts. I'm assuming
It's
it's
quickly broken into 4 pieces.
I see. But yeah, that'd be really cool. But other than that, I'm just a big gamer, and I sit on my PC all day long doing stuff. If it's not modeling something, I'm probably playing Grand Theft Auto.
So that model looks awful detailed. That does not look like an FDM printer. Is that a powder burner?
That was a Delta Maker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know very little about them, but that's what I'm coming here for to learn more about that.
Let's show your model to the camera.
Then,
Show the internet.
Yeah.
To see your mom.
Instead of my room. Actually, they probably can't even see that. Should I move that?
You can move it closer.
Yeah,
That's
move
the
it up.
feed right
Move it
there.
up. You can
that.
see it up here.
Oh, you can. Look at that. Where's the
Middle of
Middle
the.
of
look at that. Oh, it's got a lag
There
to
you
it.
go.
There we go.
Did you print that as a single print?
Yeah,
Wow.
which is kind of what I wanted to do because I want to break it up.
The overhang on the tail is impressive.
Yeah, I'm glad that it printed the way it did.
There was a lot of support.
Yeah, there were a lot of moments when I was removing the support, and I thought, ooh, like the trophy was like super good. Yeah, I wanted to learn how to do stuff like molding, casting, and stuff like that, so I can just replicate these one after another, without having to use a print for every single one. And then finish it up and paint it. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's all I can do. So, anyone else have questions?
Same 2 questions before. What is your first project going to be?
Making more of these things. Yeah, I want to use these as sort of like a first stepping stone to sort of work out all the kinks so I can start making stuff without having any issues in the future, like with molding and whatnot. But this is a big project, and I want to print out the helmet that I modeled, obviously. And make a bunch of others too. That is cool.
We do have a few members who are doing aluminum casting, so you might be able to make
Really?
Although,
that'd be cool.
although that form is like a 4-part mold.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
I don't know how
Well,
that's
think
gonna
about
work. I just know that.
You can do a silicon mold or something like that.
And then you might get away with 3, but even so, the undercuts
Yeah.
are really deep on the tail.
But hopefully I can find someone here that can help me out more. I've looked at YouTube videos and that one's complex as it is.
Have you been to Reynolds?
Huh?
Have you been to Reynolds?
What
Like the
is
mecca
that?
of molding? You must know.
My knowledge of molding is on YouTube, and that's about it.
Can nerd out.
Sounds like a lot of our skills here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how I learned everything. I didn't go through any formal education. I just sat down and just YouTube after YouTube.
YouTube University is a great place.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where a lot of us learn how to weld.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're not driving cars at 20 miles an hour around, a track or anything.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
The same question otherwise last time. Do you have a favorite fandom or book or something like that?
Cool thing.
Media.
Well, other than a furry fandom, I'm just like super in love with Star Wars. So
Yay.
Do you have a favorite of the Star Wars films or series?
okay, so I love Return of the Jedi just for the fight scene. I think that's pretty cool. But I think number 7 is probably up there.
Anything but 1, 2, or 3 is an acceptable answer. Because those don't exist.
So I read
Right.
Wolf on there. So are you Wolf?
No, I'm a king.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. And
Yeah.
empty pocket.
Oh yeah.
So when we talk about
But I made a blueprint. I just don't have it with me. I don't know why I didn't bring that actually. I think I just forgot that I had it. It's in my closet.
And
I
then,
need to make some more.
and then one last thing, you
Yeah.
cannot help but notice the band on your left hand.
Oh, I went to Disney today. I was like, I've got some time to
Who
go. I'm
who has
just
the
gonna write
Disney annual
splash
pass again?
Obviously.
Also, if you do become a member,
Yeah,
your band will open the door.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
Not
talking about-
just, not just automatically.
Not just magically.
Can be made
As
to
part
do
of-
something.
as part of-
We can make that happen.
There's
Oh,
not that
You know,
much Disney.
What's
magic.
interesting, we could actually make it magically happen.
Without
We could call
messing up.
Shortcut, and he could scrub the database. We just add it, and it would be a magical experience.
It would be, that would be.
Yeah, well, I don't know, we could just call Georgia.
If we could call Shortcut, he could scrub the database and find your username.
Well, she.
Just find your band.
Disney.
Or you could just
We
ask
just
us.
Get a magic band. That's where we put it in.
Does that not mess up their system? Like
No.
walking out the car?
You guys.
He has database access.
Does Chorko work at Disney?
No.
I
No.
do. I'm probably not a decent.
We are live on the internet.
Oh, right.
Oh, I mean, we cannot do anything like that, internet.
Say hi to the guys from Homeland Security.
Yeah, Disney's watching.
Yes.
Whoa.
Sorry. Anyway,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can-
We have one viewer.
Yeah.
That's on YouTube.
One viewer.
What's up, bro?
Oh, nice.
You're really bored, aren't you?
Any other questions for Tyler? though?
Shit talking our way.
Oh, something else.
Last little point. So my real name is Tyler, but I like for everyone else to call me Tyler.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey.
repeat it.
Buddha? Yeah, so my real name is Tyler, but I prefer everyone else to call me Buddha. That's fine. So,
Cool.
Can you spell it for me?
C-U-D-A.
Perfect, thank you.
Board, like the.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Last but not least, Timothy.
So the internet's like on a minute
Sorry,
and a half delay.
Delete it? No.
Hit the delay button. Oh, we don't have one of those.
Nope.
Hello, Timothy.
How's it going?
It's going wonderfully.
Sorry, it's no.
You're now third in line, so you know the drill.
I feel so inadequate after the first guy and the second guy. It's gonna be
The
long.
camera somewhere else.
Some people may actually recognize what they're doing. Yeah, Katie helped me print these out. It's half of a chess set. Based on we printed this out on.
We'll show you on the internet later.
Saturday. I just don't want to go Make sure. It's probably under copyright and everything, so I'm not so sure with.
Did you make the files or did you just down?
I downloaded them off Makerverse, but you know, there's some that like the Dalek, it probably needs to be resized a bit because it's supposed to be the king. It's a bit small, just a little bit. But you know, for my very first 3D print ever, not bad. They actually came out pretty good, I think. Very first ever 3D print.
I think it's amazing to me. Everyone's first 3D print style start looking amazing.
Yeah.
Whereas when we first started 3D printing, 4 years ago.
Back in my day, I felt both ways in the snow
Yeah.
fair, but they were ugly frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie was a great teacher. She helped a lot and was very patient. So yeah, props to Katie. She was awesome.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you,
Putting her on the spot. Yeah. And she totally didn't receive anything for that other than like my thanks, and mom got her like some Starbucks.
Nice. That'll do.
Yeah. So we trust her with caffeine. Yeah. Mom will do that. She's out there. And Mom will eventually be trying to join, so she'll be up here eventually. But yeah, I've been, interested in tech for a long time, ever since Dad, came home with like a 286 way back in the day, and then eventually a 386 and a 486.
Wow.
He's been into computers for a long time, moving through servers, and he's a high-priced computer geek that moves from company to company as they raid him from one to another.
And, you know, I've just been kind of learning by osmosis from his, you know, proximity with him. And so, hey. And yeah, I've been getting into computers a lot. And in California, when I was a kid starting college there, I started going into a track to, you know, learn some multimedia stuff. And it's going towards getting like a degree in multimedia design. Never quite finished that. It was a couple credit hours from finishing that before we had to move away there. And nowhere transfers those guys suck so much. But I know a lot about, you know, 3D modeling. I know a lot about, you know, audio design. I know a lot about web design. I know a lot about a lot of computer multimedia design stuff. So if anyone needs to pick my brain about that, but it's like 10 years old, so I don't know how current it is. But yeah, I'm interested in games, computer stuff, anything like that. And I'm starting to get interested in 3D modeling stuff. And yeah, I've also got Mom around. She's super big into photography, metal fabrication, all kinds of stuff.
Hi, Mom.
So, yeah. Whenever I'm around, you know, because I can't quite drive anymore, multiple sclerosis sucks. It sucks so much. But yeah, she has to schlep me around by driving.
Can we call her mom?
Yeah, you can call her Mom. her real name is
That
Agnes.
is
So.
my name.
Yeah. So if I'm around, she's probably not far.
Peanut jelly from across the room. You never see her.
And if you ask real nicely, you should probably give me Starbucks too.
FYI, internet.
So questions for Tim?
So what guess your favorite fandom?
Yeah.
A&D Time Lord series. And what's your second?
Well, actually, I was just sort of interested. I only got into Doctor Who like a couple years ago for a little bit. You know, so only like 9th and on Doctor. I haven't even looked at the new guy, so I haven't really seen any of it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've heard he's been pretty good. Yeah, I've heard he's been pretty good, so I need to get into watching some of this stuff.
It's refreshing after Matt's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the problem with Kamali though is he's already in the series.
But
Right, yeah.
other stuff I kind of like is I like Star Trek stuff. My favorite captain for Star Trek, I like Picard in that, you know, he likes to sort of try and get along with people, but if you push him too much, just a little too much, he can lay the smack down a little bit. But he will try and be nice a little bit to start with, and only once you've proven that you really need to get smacked, really smacked.
And he's still in punch Q.
Yeah. That series did have Q in it. The Q was awesome.
Cool. So, other than finishing this project, what is the first thing you would like to make here or learn here?
Then this, I've been talking with some other people on the Raspberry Pi stuff and Python stuff. Sounds interesting. It's very good. Yeah.
All right.
That maybe some with like the laser.
We like lasers.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Tim? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And while you're going over what you're going over,
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks.
This is for Lance to do.
It's a Lance show.
So, you want to do that?
I can.
Right there is where the mic is.
No, there's a mic.
I'm
and there's
over
a mic.
here. That's also
And that's
mine.
actually technically a mic.
Oh, I have my own camera.
I forget you have a name.
Well, if you wanna switch.
So lately we've been adding a lot of members. So wanted to go over voting. We require a unanimous vote. If you didn't know, you know now. And that's because when a new member comes to lab, they meet 3, 5, 4 people, something like that. And if we just did a simple majority, then those voices of those 4 or 5 people would never get heard. So obviously we don't want that. That's why we require a unanimous vote. When you vote yes, what you're voting for is that, yes, I think they should be a member. When you vote no, you're voting no, I've met this person and I have reservations, I have concerns. If there are any no votes, it goes to the board and we have to figure out what to do. So when you do vote no, we need to know why, or we have no idea how to proceed. It's kind of like, okay, I don't know. So this is what I'm going to ask. If you're comfortable voting for the person, or if you're comfortable voting on that person, then vote. Yes, no, whatever, I don't care. If you've never met them, don't vote. If you have or haven't met the person, but you feel that we as the lab need more information or something like that, or there are concerns, then go ahead and vote no. And then lastly, if you do vote no, at the bottom, put why or your name or contact the board, any of us later. That's all.
Oh, probably board members.
Yeah, board members.
Board members.
There's a not
Just to
board
be sure.
channel. You can message us privately. You can say @board in any channel, and it'll message us.
We want to have people just stand and wave as we go through the list. Penguin.
Hi, Penguin.
Hi.
We're voting on you tonight.
Fuzzy.
Yay.
Michelle.
She's not here. She's at a class right now.
I'll skip the next guy then. That's Rob. Johan.
Johan?
Brian.
Hi.
Carly. Carly Diaz.
She's the one who worked at the sticker place, right?
Yeah.
Did you? We already
No.
voted for her.
Already voted her in.
Princess Peach, aka
Princess Peach.
Maybe she doesn't know the castle.
Jamie, Katie, or
I believe you guys might have gone when she introduced.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool. So again, same thing that Lance just said. Do the thing. We could ask people to leave the room. We always do.
Yeah, if we're voting on you, you should not be in this room.
It's tradition.
You can just watch the. If you want to know what we're saying, just watch YouTube feed.
We'll call you back in shortly. We'll finish the fun.
Yay! I'm not responsible this time. It's totally me.
This-
Unmuted.
On the internet.
Thank you. That was like visual hold music, Katie.
Welcome back.
Yeah, but like right in front of the camera.
Lily has been commenting on the camera.
Oh, I've been watching the commentary.
Hooray, welcome back, everybody.
The last board meeting.
Sage will have answers for you at some point in the coming days, if you are officially official or not. It might be as early as tonight, it might be a couple days from now.
Check
Yay.
your email.
Email's good.
Be glued to that email.
Check your email, the email address that you put on the form.
Mhm.
If you didn't put an email on the form.
Oh, well. You'll have to use your telepathy.
I only have whale telepathy.
Lilith wants my pants. I love Lilith.
All right,
Yeah.
so,
I'm not gonna say anything more. These pants are mine.
Lance,
Yeah.
So you, bro.
Next again?
Yeah, you have two things.
he has his other two, his one.
Yeah, I wrote lots of things. We're gonna skip Jamie?
We'll come back to
We're gonna
Jamie.
come back to Jamie.
Because it's closer to cool things.
So this is technically our show and tell portion, right?
No, we're still on the agenda.
Update.
That's still a,
We're not
Alright,
showing tell
updates. Updates.
So, Maker Faire is coming, if you haven't noticed.
Hey guys,
We're gonna be pretty actively cleaning the space in order, getting rid of stuff. If that's in the building, out in the warehouse, doesn't matter. So if your stuff is not in your bin on the member storage, then at least label it or something. Otherwise, it might end up on purgatory.
Once it's on purgatory,
Yeah. And that, like I said, that includes in here. It's on the table like all of my crap. If I leave and it's still there, put it on purgatory.
Okay.
If you do remove something from purgatory, great, but same rules. Label it or something. Otherwise, I'm just going to put it right back on purgatory. There's a table right next to the back door. That's a big sign that says purgatory above it. That means it goes on the table, and after an undefined amount of time, we throw it away.
that's the closest table to the dumpster.
Usually it's monthly. It's probably going to be more often until all that area out in the warehouse gets emptied out.
does anyone not understand why we throw things away? I just want to make sure, because
Can I pop in real quick? There was a request for a shout out in the back, so Katie, it's all on you.
So I made a channel that is not
It's tied to the stuff.
crowdfunding. It is called Shit Lab Needs. It works. The
Hi,
system is
Internet.
broken. Type /needs, create something that lab needs, but not necessarily that lab needs to buy. So like dry erase markers, a can pressure for the aluminum cans, so that those bags don't fill up in like a week because of walls that people go through. Other things like that, and like more the purpose is for lab members to buy these things or donate the money towards FamiLAB, because FamiLAB is not super like flush with the cash, and there's little things that FamiLAB doesn't necessarily need to provide. So
Katie, there's so much
We
love
heart
in my
you.
heart for you. Oh my gosh.
Super hearts. And now back to our regularly scheduled lines.
So my last plug for the evening. Oil. So a long time ago, before most of us were members, we fought over used motor oil. You're not allowed to store used motor oil at the lab under pretty much any circumstances. And if it's on the floor, that's even worse. Yeah, that's it.
don't pour it out in the field either.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's happened too. Don't do that.
Please dispose of your stuff responsibly.
But yeah, that gets us in all kinds of hot water with the landlord, and he does know who we are. He's a member.
It's 9 o'clock.
Jamie?
All right, cool. So I put on the agenda, Jamie went to Washington. I'm like, no, they can see me and hear me just fine. Lilith already saw my butt on the camera.
There we go.
Anyway, totally not staring into the camera. I put on our agenda that I went to Washington, D.C. to represent FamiLAB. Late last month, we got an invite from the senior advisor for making the White House to come to a meeting as part of the Nation of Makers initiative, which is a ginormous program, essentially to help coordinate, collaborate, convene, and pile together makers to help benefit each other more or less, and to help us learn to talk to the government for grants and help the government figure out exactly what we are. Because we're nonprofits for the most part, but we're not like standard nonprofits. We're not trade schools typically. We're not churches, as funny as that would be for us. So I went up, because I answered the email that came in, they gave me an invitation. And one of us went up from each of 173 makerspaces, and there were 75 more on a wait list. So there were 4 or 5 represented from Florida, Tallahassee, Maker Effects, Tampa, us, and we all went.
2 members from here.
Ian was repping Maker Effects.
He's still a member here.
That is true. And there are a lot of treasurers too, in fact, which was kind of fun. We had a treasurers meetup and swapping of stories. Anyway, so we went up and we listened to talks, and we met folks like the U.S. Chief Technologist and the Senior Advisor for Making, and several other high-level folks involved with the Nation of Makers initiative. And then we had panel meetings in the afternoon where we discussed things like how to get grants or how to do citizen science without the local government freaking out and shutting you down, because they tend to get a little scared when you say things like amateur biolab. Oddly enough. Oddly enough. But things, and then conflict resolution, which was kind of funny. And I need to point out that I went to the unexpected details panel, the how you deal with things when they suddenly pop up. And by the end of the session, I had 4 or 5 requests for our business card, because the FamiLAB model, the board, how we do elections, how we've survived drama, et cetera, and so on, was something that people were very curious about and kind of looking up to, which seems scary, but is actually pretty cool. Things like how we have do our paperwork, things how we do our staggered elections, all that kind of stuff, were details people were asking about. Long story short, or getting longer anyway, the work has continued. I've been in 3 telecons with the White House since then, and we've been discussing essentially the overarching problems that makerspaces face. Yeah, tell me. Whether they're for-profit, non-profit, whether they're based out of libraries and schools, whether they're independent like us, whether they're like the 15 people in Tallahassee or the 300, I think it is, out of Texas or more. So we've been getting together. We have been doing phases in conjunction with telecons with the senior advisor, and coming up with problem statements and breaking out into teams. And now we're working on how to solve these vast overarching problems. And it's an iterative process that will continue. We have a transition team to help us lead ourselves and help us become a group ourselves. Maybe not so formal as like a board to lead all the maker spaces, but a group of folks representing each space and their problems to kind of discuss it. Ian is actually on that transition team. I'm a little overloaded, so is he, but we're hanging in there. So if anybody wants in on some of these telecons, we can invite folks because the number is limited on the call itself. We've been getting together in a Hangouts to attend them as one person. Or if you want any more of the details of stuff I'm working on, I'm right now doing the leadership development Tiger team, which is stuff like insurance and stuff like how do you find out all the things you don't know. Like discovering that it's a felony to solicit outside contributions without filling out this paperwork. But it's stuff like that we just don't know. So I'm on a Tiger team to kind of figure out how to figure things out. Yes.
Does this mean the government's going to be looking at us really closely and watching everything we do?
They already do. No. So when we talk about the budget for this meeting,
off of watch lists?
I wish. No, so the budget for this meeting, lunch was Jimmy John's. So I wouldn't be too worried about them like adding us to extra surveillance or something. But we're talking to, before I forget, about doing this again next year. And I'm on a grants committee as well. I'm gonna sleep one of these years. To do travel funding, because we're looking at doing the same meeting, which would have the same limited number of people because the White House is only so big, but then expanding it into a 2 or 3 day conference in DC for folks who organize makerspaces, and members and whatnot. People did send normal members instead of board members, but not too many. But we're looking at making this a bigger, better, sexier, well-funded thing next year. There are a few spaces that had to do GoFundMes to send their board members, so we're kind of hoping to do travel grants next year as well.
That's super awesome.
There's a whole bunch of stuff out of here that I came back with a ton of awesome ideas, including, hopefully for the annual meeting, assuming I sleep again, making challenge coins, because that was something they gave us at the White House. I have a little laser cut acrylic coin with the seal of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy and our event and the Nation of Makers thing, which is really cool. And it's sort of a bragging rights thing, and it's sort of just a cool souvenir and a bunch of other things. And some of the other spaces have started making challenge coins to kind of hand out to visitors, like the passport thing. Yeah, it started in the military and kind of branched out to hacker spaces and branched out to other groups. But I kind of want to get that maybe going for the real annual meeting.
And you guys should feel really proud of yourselves and really proud of Jamie and our other leadership because of all of the work that they've put in over the years to make us one of those places that other spaces look up to. We're not the biggest space by far, but we make a lot of noise. Usually good noise.
Usually good noise.
And I don't know if you guys caught, I think it was last year in Make Magazine, we were featured as one of the top 10 makerspaces in the country to go visit.
People know our name.
Yeah.
Like,
2 years ago? Huh? What?
I believe that was world.
The makerspace in the world.
But
we were featured second, but they weren't in any particular order.
At the bottom of the first page, but I think it went this way.
But people know us. People know our name. People know, hey, it's that hackerspace in Orlando. I was actually really surprised by that. People had heard of us and were talking about us with the same level of knowledge that they would talk about Noisebridge, although with less heroin.
We tried.
We tried. But we've been in existence longer than a lot of spaces, and we've had more. I don't want to say had more board change out because that sounds kind of scary, but we've evolved more.
We've weathered a lot of storms.
Yes, well, there are other places that are still running with the original founders as their board, and just haven't changed them out in 6 or 7 years. Yeah, there were a couple like that actually. Yeah, tell me.
Dan Lewis to thank you. Dan, if you're watching.
But yeah, so there were a lot of good talks. There was a lot of good collaboration. The collaboration continues in communication on email lists, on Hangouts, on things that ding out all hours of the day and night to continue this. So if anybody wants to kind of come play and brainstorm, cool. If you don't, you just want to say cool, that's awesome too. And I'll keep you guys posted if we do anything big and sexy and fun. Yay!
Mike, I think you're on the leadership tiger team as well now, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I suckered you into that, didn't
I haven't quite caught up on my homework yet.
Neither have I. We have a meeting probably Wednesday.
We should get together and do lunch.
Does anyone have anything to show and tell specifically anyone who was at a desert location in the last couple weeks?
Bree and I we went to Burning Man and it was amazing. Also, I fell off a really tall structure, but I didn't break anything, so that's also amazing.
Was the sand nice and soft?
There was no sand, it is dust and it is very hard. It hurt a lot. I landed on one foot and I heard my entire spine compress. It was like, and I'm like, I broke myself and I just fell over. And then I was okay, so it worked out.
Wow.
I found a hand crank bicycle because I couldn't move and it worked out.
Wow. So how was the Dusty Supper?
The Dusty Supper was awesome. We tried to have a Last Supper, but there was a terrible dust storm. So
it wasn't Dusty Supper.
I can show a picture if you want to.
If you can share it, we can
put it up on the screen.
Also, the
I don't know if I can promise that.
I
Can we
couldn't
put it up on
break
the screen
down.
if she shares it?
Yes.
We can have the two cameras
share with
stare at
Lance.
each other.
It's appropriate. It's okay.
It's a 20-foot long table. It was a massive table. It was meant to accommodate all of our 13 unique chairs. It wasn't supposed to be like something like aesthetic, but everyone, I've gotten tons of emails. People had like life-changing experiences over this table, so I'm really happy about that. Seriously, like people take pictures and they're like, I had an amazing life-changing conversation about this bowl, and I'm like, yes. Art, awesome. So that was really cool.
Excellent.
Yeah. Bree, that was her first time coming to Burning Man, so that was really exciting. Most of
Yay.
the team, they were all new, so watching them get all excited and shiny and also assimilate to the culture like immediately made my heart just glow, because for some people, like, they have to like comprehend, like takes time to comprehend, but like everyone on the team just immediately like assimilated in the culture, and that just made me really proud. Like, this project attracted all the right people, so it's awesome. That's excellent. That's great. I'm gonna keep going, of course, like forever. I hope you consider doing the same. Yes, that's exciting too.
I'll definitely be going again.
Awesome, and I encourage like you all, if you have questions, Bree is now just as knowledgeable as I at being a burner, so please approach her, ask questions about culture and all that kind of wonderful
The
stuff.
art was what killed me. Like,
Incredible,
it's
right?
like mind blowing.
Yes.
It's like not there, and then like you wake up the next morning and then it's there. Like 20-foot structures, beautiful pieces of art, like.
It was
mind
easily
blowing.
visible from the space station, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, they took pictures.
Yeah, so just mind-blowingly awesome.
Or
Also very
channel.
dangerous. Very dangerous place.
Is
I
it?
learned that.
Or just for you?
I learned that.
Almost all of our campmates had big bruises.
Oh yeah.
Great.
What kind of war wounds did you come back with?
None.
Bree was the most careful of anyone I've ever traveled with ever.
She
It
was well
great.
hydrated,
I
not
was
breathed.
hydrated.
She probably kept us alive. Yeah. Thank you, Bree.
So while Lance is working on getting that photo pulled up, which he might have just did. Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
Oh, there you go.
The chairs, like the chairs were like the real interesting bits.
Each one of the
People were
chairs
sitting on them.
we had so that they felt different sitting in it, and they also had some sort of message of wisdom to convey and some way of interacting with it. So of course you can't see any of them, but we extended the table like I think an additional 5 feet than what we originally
Wow.
like had put together, just to accommodate all the chairs, because that's what we really invested in. There were other Dusty Suppers there, or other Last Suppers there. One was produced by Burning Man themselves, and they put it in front of the man and they made it small, so like the perspective when taking a picture was great. And then there was another one that was out closer to like main streets. I had specifically requested this to be put like way out in the middle of nowhere for people to stumble upon. And then what was great is after we installed the piece, someone immediately came up to us and was like, oh, why don't you host a dinner here? And we were like, oh my gosh, why didn't we think of this? So we actually put up a reservation book on John Cope's pedestal, and people filled out reservations for the table. I was unable to attend the Last Supper on Sunday because injury. But Bree told me they had a fantastic time. Just like, yes?
Yeah.
Flo, what's her name? Flo?
Flow.
They were just like partying it up. So that was really awesome because the table at that point was just destroyed. It was just, oh my gosh, the weather was rough this year.
I'd like to point out that I'm
Nicely done. At one point in time, I got like a 1 hour massage on that table. Gizmo, who was on our team, she was flying that kite in the middle of the dust storm standing on that table.
Whoa.
It was really cool.
I just posted a picture of Paige. I'm kind of like taking
Of me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They're from Juliet's photos in her album.
Was it the Silicon Valley one? Oh.
This before or after Broken?
This was some point later on in the week. This was my hand crank bicycle. I stood up because this is a really symbolic like moment for me. And so I stood up and our teammate took a picture. But I was walking around in that little top hat. I had a butterfly coming out of it. That was like my thing. That dress I went and got at a clothing store because I go shopping every year. I go to Burning Man and get a dress. And of course at Burning Man everything's free, so you just walk in and just take it. So that was my clothing for the day. This particular dress, the deal was you have to walk out of the store on a runway and like do your model thing in order to like take it. But yeah, it's a great dress. So that's me.
Very awesome.
It was a good time. I suggest everyone go and be confident in your climbing skills. If you doubt it for a second, it's just not worth it.
So Burning Man 2017 Sea Sage?
Yes. Yes, Burning Man 2017.
Dusty Supper 2.0?
No, it'll be different. It's always different. I'm pretty sure I make a joke about it. My project's only going through because there are like a series of administrative errors. Because the artwork, and Bree can attest this, is just incredible. Like these stuff they do is amazing, but every year I kind of go with the theme. So there's like so much they have to invest in like putting the show together, and I'm like complicit to that. So yeah. Or talk to Bree, Burning Man 2017, Bree.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much forever,
I'm
right? For the rest
gonna
of
try to do like a big camp, like volunteer with a big camp next year.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Family camp.
Family camp. Oh, I networked with one of the dudes who does like a huge portion of the laser engraving for like the swag for the camps at Burning Man. Cause so like that's a gifting culture. People give away lots of things. A lot of that is laser engraved, like made things. And he actually provides that for a lot of the camps. And I ran into him the first night before I injured myself on our first free day. I ran into the founders of Burning Man. I watched the sunset with him and then with them. And then as I was walking by, I like see this person, he's like putting together things. I stop and help him. And he's like, turns out he's like the laser dude of Burning Man. He gives me like a bunch of laser engraved swag, including a medallion that he only gives to other laser engravers because we like nerded out about it. So I feel incredibly honored. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm part of like the laser engraving culture of Burning Man. And then I fell off the structure. Because I got invited to like a
broken people.
Right, exactly, yeah. Because I got invited to like a laser engraving swag only party, but like, yeah, it was
Very cool. Other fun show and tell. Can anyone mention the Burning Man?
Can anyone follow that?
I made a thing though.
Well, yeah, maybe you should have saved that for last.
Willa made something.
Literally during this meeting.
And it's glowy.
I have the Neo Pixel script that's controlled by an ESP8266 for basically it's a tiny Arduino that has Wi-Fi, but it's doing a WebSocket server and has like you can't see this, but there's like a little GUI and I can change the color.
You want to screen share it?
This is all assuming it still works.
It worked a minute ago
Until you call attention to
But
it.
if you looked at me during this meeting and wondered what's she doing, turning around, not listening to anything, I'm listening. I'm also trying to fix it.
nice.
I have a question for the group. So we've been doing the Arduino workshops, and they've been getting pretty much very little response recently. I think part of that's maybe just due to the impending approach of Maker Faire. But I've been thinking about post Maker Faire actually running a class on basic electronics.
Do it.
It would probably be a 12-week class. There would probably be a fee for parts and stuff, and for me to be able to do the materials for that. Do people have a preference for 12 classes? I would be thinking weekly or bi-weekly.
How in depth?
When you got done, you would be able to design basic transistor circuits, and you should be able to interface anything to an Arduino.
Do it.
Yes.
I think that's an awesome idea. The only reason I haven't been going to Arduino things is because I have like vague ideas, but I don't have like the full thought.
Yeah, I mean, this is
created.
gonna, and I mean, all you need to know is you should bring a calculator or a slide rule, and no,
Challenge accepted.
It's just simple algebra, but there will be math. Or a calculator, either one.
Will the math have numbers or just letters?
There will be numbers. There will be actual numbers because a lot of what's involved in designing circuits is calculating currents and calculating voltages, and so that's actually pretty much where we start. And then we talk about all the various devices, how they work, why you care, and then we'll talk about applications, about how you use these things to actually do something.
Do you have an idea of the fee and when you start?
It would probably be, well, I don't really know yet. I mean, it's certainly less than 50, probably less than 30.
Are you accepting finance now?
Well, actually, if people want to go stick a Yes Me into Circuits and More, so that I can get sort of a vague idea of a count. Obviously, it's going to be after Maker Faire.
What, you're not going to teach it like the day before? Come on.
I could.
We're having a meeting before Maker Faire. I mean, you're stuff together.
And if you can, when you put in your Mimi, say what's your best day. Right now, I am thinking Saturdays, but we'll see. You know, depends on when people are actually available. We'll figure out a way to make it work.
You would go ahead and buy materials. Bulk.
Yeah, you get a kit of the basic parts. We have meters here.
We have tons of meters.
And we have. Well, I have an oscilloscope, and I think I can get one or two of the ones out there working again. Well, we had it from the one of the early
maybe.
As well. So.
Hi, internet. No, we didn't.
Very cool.
I kind of have a thing. I'm in the process of prototyping and articulating a pair of wings.
Nice.
I don't have like real feathers. I was just gonna do a cool system, but they said something about a motor and now.
I wanted to bring up something I had wanted to create an RFC for, but I only thought of it a few days ago and then wasn't really thinking about the meeting being so soon. I would really love to see virtual reality in the lab, and I'm sure many people would. I've been building a very powerful machine that's very close to completion, but I still have a ways to go before I'll actually be able to afford the headset. So, you have the vibe? Okay, great. So my idea was that I would lease my computer for barely nothing, and we could Kickstarter a Vive or an Oculus, and then if enough members would be interested to donate a little bit extra every month to build our own very powerful computer, and we could do virtual reality and virtual reality development. And I would love to see this happen sooner than later.
Take my money.
Sounds like a crowdfund kickoff to me.
Are you focusing on the hardware or actually doing 3D development?
Well, like for development that I've been kind of planning and interested in is I have a rowing machine, and I would like to be able to row in virtual reality. But you know that the idea is that we would have it and we would play with it. We could develop for it. I have an i7 6700. I'm going to buy a 1070 video card very soon, and it's all very close to being complete. My mom wants to help me, so I'm probably going to bring her here to build the computer. But if people are interested, I would like to do that.
Do we have a Slack channel for 3D?
We do have a virtual reality.
So crowdfunders, get on the virtual reality channel.
Just near the
So from the crowdfunding perspective, once you get your RFC up, post it. I'll tag on the little treasure thing. We'll do exactly what we did before with everybody else. Post how much you need. People kick in. I'll post how close we are every time I get somebody kicking in.
If anyone's a Mr. Robot fan, just along the lines of virtual reality, if there's an app called Within, and have you seen it? It's like a little episode short that you can use with a Google Cardboard. So that's how I discovered Mr. Robot. I was like, oh, this short, and it's like, oh, it's a whole TV show. I know what
you're
I've only seen
doing.
these shorts. I'm just letting you know, if you're like scrounging for more, there's an app Within with a short. So check it out. You can literally be in the episode 3D.
Which episode? What happened?
I'm not going to. Your face happened. There's that.
Any other?
Lance, I threw 2 pictures in.
One being my CNC work.
And well, we'll take it out. I mean, it's not done. And everyone will see it in person at the holiday party. It will be a Maker Faire, yes. So that's my CNC bowl for my new cooler lid. And the black piece you see in the middle is a Pelican case. So yeah, I've been working on that for the past month. We finally got the mold, but we haven't had a successful vacuum form yet. Well, completely successful. So if you go to the next one, that's the closest thing to successful now. The spouts themselves are hand molded and duct taped on. I use white duct tape. yes, I now own a roll of white duct tape. But yeah, the form actually it tore during the vacuum process, so you didn't get quite the detail. Everything is loosened a lot. It won't fit the Pelican case, but it still functions. And again, hopefully in the next few weeks we'll get the good form in, get the the facade swapped out for the final model, and have it ready for Maker Faire. And then it'll be ready for Mike's margaritas at the Christmas party.
Yeah. More importantly.
Anyone else? I think that might be it. Unless someone else speaks up. Okay.
Katie,
Mike has an event coming up soon.
What do I have planned?
Oh my gosh, it's such a big, fantastic event.
Actually, it's a very small.
No,
You turn it like that.
I'm talking about in the meeting.
Yeah. Very likely in the next week I will have a new son. No, but if you ask, we're calling him Cooter Rexton because the family keeps asking. We haven't decided on a name yet.
I'm calling the kid Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz, whatever you want.
It's just Baby King.
Baby King.
Cheese Whiz. Go with Cheese Whiz.
But by the time he leaves the hospital, he'll have a name. So, I mean, he doesn't even have to. You know.
Mike.
You won't recognize his name for a while.
What?
Mike Prime.
Yeah. If you like, I'll run a live stream hangout event if anyone is interested in one.
And no.
You gonna fill Jessica in on
It all
that?
depends on if during that live stream we get to watch you fade.
Well, you know, depends on if the phone is full or not, you know. So that'll be sometime soonish.
We'll put that in radar.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
His due date is technically the 28th, but I don't think that it's going to be that far out.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thank you.
Yeah!
Damn it, babies.
So, did you make the baby here?
All right, so Katie had her hand up. Hi, Katie. You wanted to say something?
No, I always use condoms in the lab.
That's
All right.
an inside joke that the new people don't.
I'm sorry, new people.
Katie.
There are class studies. So for like classes that require materials that maybe need a permanent home, there are now studies for it.
Nice.
Have actual places to put the things. But for now, it's clear. If anybody would like to come and consider to the project, for their class or for somebody else's class, I'm going to be laboring like closable boxes that can fit in there.
It's not for your junk.
Yeah, it's not for you. It's for classes.
Right?
And those are like perfectly fine, that was technically like a super sexy class study. And here so you can see what it is.
We're just gonna put them on the calendar.
Give it like 20 more minutes.
Okay.
Would anyone not like to include with baby pictures when they go on Slack?
What?
I don't know.
Why would we not?
Make a new channel. Yeah, exactly.
Just make sure you choose your Instagram filters carefully.
Right, so the way we did that,
Damn it, babies.
we made the baby an Instagram, and if you feel like seeing every waking moment of your child, you go on Instagram.
I like that
I have to
idea.
sign up an Instagram.
And then we only share some things on Facebook so that people don't go, oh my god, someone's baby.
The rest of us appreciate that highly.
Although my kids feel be cute, it's really fun.
I have a feeling your kid will be the older kid who gets mine into trouble.
I don't know.
Maybe yours will be the younger kid that gets her.
Maybe that's. Alistair's got 2.5 years on this one. Anyways,
Old age and treachery.
adjourn?
Adjourn. Thank you all.